All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Today we're going to do an outlook for the week coming up. This is for the week of, 27th to the 31st, 2026. I'm going to show you guys what I have marked out on my higher time frame charts, just some kind of scenarios that I'm kind of looking at, and some conditions I'm going to be using on the higher time frames, and then we'll go through the news day by day before we get into it, guys. Alpha Futures is still 40% off. Code LukeX. It's valid for the next couple of days to the end of the month, and Funded Next still 50% off on the Rapid Dailies, Rapid Pros. So if you guys want to go pick one up, links all in the pinned comment. Discord, all that stuff in there. So go check all that out. Anyway, starting off on the higher time frame, we'll work our way down from the monthly. So as you can see right now, we are still in that monthly gap. Now we do have this other monthly gap right here that we have not tapped into yet. But as you can see, this monthly candle is extremely bearish. We still have a week left. But you can see we did, when you get a push up aggressively, you're eventually going to get a retrace. Going down to the weekly, you can see that this weekly candle closed bearish. We put in the top wick, we flipped, and we have an aggressive bearish close out of this range that we've been chopping in since the beginning of May, which is good to see that we are finally getting some like a break to the downside. Either way, anyway, I'd prefer for it to be the downside because I don't want to be trading all-time highs yet. So yeah, we get a break to the downside, which is good. We do get a strong candle closure on the weekly. And you can see in terms of weekly draws, we do have this monthly unfilled gap right here. And then we also have, this weekly gap. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, we have higher time frame draws and liquidity down here. I just marked out the start of this weekly imbalance right here, the start of this monthly imbalance. But again, you could look at all of this kind of as low resistance for price to potentially run through. And it's all within that monthly gap. So regardless, whatever. Now going over, like I said, to the weekly, you can see right now I have marked out previous week's high and previous week's low as kind of our most relevant draws and liquidity. Going down to the daily, you can see that after we chopped around for so long, we finally have this clean structure. We tap into this daily gap and we get a leg down, lower high, typical lower low, and we do end up forming a daily gap here. So in terms of draws and liquidity, what I have marked out on my charts, if we work from the higher time frame again here, you see I have this monthly imbalance down here at 27,829. I have this weekly gap at 27,302, but you could really just mark all of this sell side. We do have, like I said, all of this kind of LRL right here on the higher time frame. I have previous week's low right here just because it is our closest draw on liquidity. This daily gap right here, which we're going to be using as a possible condition, and then previous week's high. And then I just marked the next buy side draw above that, which would be this daily high around 30,062. Going over to ES, here is the difference with ES. We could see that ES has failed to take out all these lows, but is this necessarily an SMT? No. This can just be a case of NQ leading bearish, which is what it's looking like right now. It looks like NQ wants to pull lower and take some of this out, but again, time will tell. Go over to ES though, I'll show you guys what I have marked out. We can see that the monthly candle right now is still bearish on ES as well, but we have not tapped in that monthly gap. So that's still something that ES has not done. But overall, the sentiment, you can see we got a strong rejection with a weekly flip here, a weekly bearish close. You can see we have previous week's high, previous week's low marked out. It's pretty much the same scenario. You could see ES also inverse this daily gap. We are bearish on the daily. We're making lower highs and lower lows. It's just that ES is not as like it's lagging behind, and NQ is clearly leading bearish. So ES still has all of this liquidity to run through, and NQ still again does have liquidity as well to run through. So in terms of what I'm looking for, ideally this looks like a clear sell model. I want to see price flush lower. I want to see us tag into that monthly gap and then kind of reassess our scenario from there. Again, we are super close to this monthly gap, this lower monthly gap. And again, regardless, even if you don't look at it as the monthly gap, we have just this low resistance right here that I would ideally like to see price run through, and then just kind of reassess from there. This can be the area that potentially sends price higher. And then if we break through this, we'd be looking for, a very strong move lower. But regardless, we think about that later on. But basically my main idea is I want to see price get lower. I want to see us tag that monthly gap, take out some low resistance on the higher time frame, and then kind of reassess our ideas from there. So basically I'm going to be looking at previous week's low right here and this daily gap. So if market opens up and we immediately start displacing lower, I would like higher time frame continuations down towards that monthly gap, down toward take out the sell side. So maybe we get higher time frame cons there, and then from there we reassess. Again, this can be the area if we get an aggressive flip, we could see price send higher from here. And if this area it gets weak, we could easily see this be the area that gets broken and price continues lower. Now, again, we think about that later on, but my main idea coming into the week is watching previous week's low. If we displace past previous week's low, I want to see how price reacts. And if it continues to, we look for continuations towards the sell side into that gap. And again, we watch this gap because this could be the area that sends price higher. or we just kind of watch and see if it wants to, get broken below and we continue to trade lower. But regardless, we're watching previous week's low and seeing price if it breaks below previous week's low. Now on the other side, if price manipulates up, we're going to be using this daily gap as a condition. Now, why? Because it's our closest buy side target right here. That's on the higher time frame. So if price opens up, maybe we get a move lower quick and we tap this daily gap. We're using this as our condition. If price respects this, then we want to see cont shorts lower, potentially into that monthly gap. And if we flip this daily gap, then what would we be looking for? We'd be looking for buy side. So in this case, buy side is going to be previous week's high and, all this low resistance up here. Now, again, personally, what I said is I'm looking for a move lower towards that monthly gap, towards the sell side. That's what I'm preferring. So again, if market wants to open up, displace past previous week's low, I want continuations in towards here. And again, if we move up higher, we flip this daily gap, we'd be looking for longs. Or if we respect this daily gap in line with the higher time frame bearish trend, then I'd be looking for continuations lower. So coming into the week, the main thing we're watching is previous week's low and this daily gap, seeing which one gets displaced through, what gets respected, and going from there. But again, I would ideal dream scenario, we get a move lower and then we see either this monthly gap send price higher. That would be super clean. That's what I'd be looking for. And paying attention to ES, because again, ES is lagging behind. So in these scenarios, you kind of want to see NQ pull the weight here and just watch ES and be reactionary with it. So that's what I have marked out right now on my charts. I'll show you guys again. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm looking at on the higher time frames. Those are my conditions as of right now. Again, I always update throughout the week in the Discord. So if you guys want to join, again, link is in the pinned comment. So let's go through the news day by day. I'll walk you guys through about how I'm approaching every single day. So starting off on Monday, we have a no news Monday. I do trade no news Mondays. I'm not concerned about it at all. But on Mondays and Fridays, I do like to typically go for one-to-ones, slightly de-risk maybe. So this will be a normal trading day, just de-risking or going for a one-to-one. And that's fine for me. Honestly, start the week off where you don't take a massive loss if you lose. And if you win, you just start off with a nice, you get in the rhythm of things. Going over to Tuesday, we just have CB Consumer Confidence at 10. This is just orange folder, so it shouldn't be doing too much. But again, I'm always cautious of the 10 a.m. opens anyway. So I will be kind of aware of it, but I'm not really concerned about it. This will be a normal trading day with normal risk. Wednesday, FOMC at 2, and then press conference obviously at 2:30. So on these days, if you guys know, I like to kind of be in and out of the market as fast as possible. So I ideally like to be out of the markets by 11, 10:30. The longer the session goes, the volume will tend to die down in anticipation of FOMC. So personally for me, I will try to get out of the market as fast as possible. And if I do notice the volume dies down, I won't hesitate to just cut the session short because I'm anticipating, volume to want to wait for FOMC. But this will be a normal trading day if I do catch something. Thursday, just 8:30 advanced GDP. This will be, again, normal trading day. Again, these are good candles to mark out as well. Still data wick, so hopefully, we get some good volatility this day. And then Wednesday, nothing much. Again, just cautious that 10 a.m. open as always, but nothing really to worry about in terms of high impact news. Always pay attention to financial juice. Always pay attention to Twitter and news outlets and whatever and see what's going on. We might have a massive gap over the weekend. Who knows? But anyway, this is my technical analysis for the week coming up. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you guys think of this week coming up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.